Okay, so I received this enigmatic email asking me if I have a bank account with online access. Well, as a matter of fact, I do, so I replied, okay, and it looks like we're going scam baiting again. Before we start, just a very quick reminder that the content on this channel is very varied. The next upload after this one may very well be about food, nature, tech products, or some other random nonsense. Don't be caught out. So, someone wants to give me quick funding, and I've just said okay. What happens next? Well, tiny spoilers, there's almost zero complexity to this scam, so no clever wordplay and little opportunity for fun this time. In fact, this may very well be the worst scammer I've ever dealt with. Let's crack on. So the following day I got a reply. What bank do you have online access account with? I said, why do you need to know? I mean, why would somebody need to know about my online banking? The answer is, I fund bank accounts. Sure, of course you do. Money is so hard to dispose of after all. I asked, who are you? The scammer replied, you contacted me on my other email address. I said, sure, but what do you want? The scammer said, bank account with online access. Now here's somewhere that I felt I could really help, so I said, have you tried asking your local bank for that? I'm sure they can help you set up a new account. Apparently not. It is your own I need, sir. So I said, why? For the first time, the scammer wrote more than one sentence, and the answer is really simple. To cut to the chase, the scammer wants to use my account for money laundering. That is, that's what he said, but in reality, I imagine he just wants to get access to my account and siphon out every penny. Now, at this point, you might be wondering who would ever fall for such a transparent and stupid scam, but apparently people do because look, for example, here's a page warning students not to be taken in by this deal. Interestingly, the page is written as if the money laundering is for real. I decided to play dumb. I'm pretty good at it. And I said, I just don't understand. And I asked if the scammer needed to log on to my bank as me to do this. And apparently that's correct. I just hand over my account details and password and trust a complete stranger on the internet who hasn't even yet told me his fake name. Sure, why not? What could possibly go wrong? So I told the scammer, I do most of my online finance via CoinSquirt. Doesn't everyone? Can we use that instead? Oddly, the scammer who had at last made up a fake name had never heard of CoinSquirt. Weird. So I said so, and I also asked if maybe one of my other online accounts with MoneyPurple, Spondule or FundThrust might be suitable. Well, the answer to that wasn't no. It wasn't even an answer, but instead two more questions. Where are you located? What are your names? I said, I'm in the UK and my name is Manfred Tobin. I usually try to pick out a fake name that sort of resembles the really fake name, Mange2, on my scam baiting mailbox. I also asked what this was all about and why the scammer just wanted to give money away. Apparently they have too much of it, and they need to split it up into various accounts. That doesn't not make sense. I carried on playing dumb. Wait, is this related to the email from Laura Johnston? Yes, apparently it was. You're not Laura. Then I switched to a more pointed mode of inquiry and demanded that the scammer tell me what this was about. If you want to move money, just do it. The scammer said he needed a bank account where he could deposit money into. I said, you can get a bank account on any high street. I already explained that to you. Are you sure you know what you're doing? Maybe you should discuss this with your supervisor. Accusations of incompetence never fail to annoy scammers, and so he said, I know what I'm doing, correctly. I said, okay, well I'll have to take your word for that. So what should I do next? He asked how many bank accounts I have. I said, I told you already. I've got my HSBC account plus WebMoney with 4 other providers. He said, send me the HSBC details and the website. I said, okay, and I sent him a completely made-up account, username and password. And just for fun, oops, the shortened login link I gave him went to the scam warning page I mentioned earlier. I thought the link to that page might kill the conversation dead, but a couple of hours later I gave the scammer a little nudge. Must have hit a nerve because he said, please, I'm not here for jokes. Okay, if you want to joke, go somewhere else and do that. I played the innocent and offended party and said, what are you talking about? You contacted me, remember? He said, what kind of link are you sending me to the HSBC account? It should be obvious. I sent a link that explicitly warned not to deal with scammers like this. But let's see if we can claw this conversation back from the brink of failure. But first, let's take a 2-minute break to answer a frequently asked question about my scam baiting. This time, the question is, how do you get so many scam emails? Well, it's true, I do get a lot of these emails, and there are a number of reasons for this. Firstly, this mailbox has been around a very long time, and during that time I've used it as the contact address to sign up to dozens of different websites and online services. Some of those sites have been hacked and their member lists leaked to scammers. Furthermore, it seems that the activity of scam baiting, which I have been doing now for 15 years, seems to increase exposure. I guess the scammers, even though they know I'm wasting their time, seem to sell or give my email address to one another. I guess they're scamming each other. Finally, or maybe firstly, I used to know a few people who were in the habit of acting on those dumb hoax emails that always seem to include the instruction to forward them to all of your contacts. Those emails typically contain huge lists of the people who've been copied in, and although I obviously didn't ever forward those messages, my email address was already in the list that went out to hundreds of other people. Somewhere downstream, one of those messages falls into the hands of someone who will scrape the addresses and sell them. The short version is, my scambaiting mailbox is pretty nearly public domain. In all honesty, it's a wonder it still works at all. Now, back to the main story. So I'd sent the scammer an anti-scam website link, and he was suspicious and angry. Can we get him back on the hook? I said, oh, I see what's happened now. I pasted in a link that a friend was trying to get me to visit. And I gave him the correct HSBC login link. Of course, it won't work because every other part of the details I gave him was false. He said he'd log in later, but in all honesty, I think this is the scammer just trying to buy some time to empty the victim's account without him noticing. I sent a polite email asking how much money I'd be receiving, and to confirm the scammer wouldn't interfere with my savings. He said, the login details you provided is incorrect. I said, no, I don't think so. What message did you get? Send me the correct website to log in. I said, don't you know how to use Google? Here's the login page, or just Google HSBC online login. The scammer sent me a screenshot of his failed login attempt. How sad. He asked me to log in and send him a screenshot. I said, that's strange, I've never seen that before. Anyway, I have to go to the bank. I'll explain the situation and ask them why this is happening. The scammer was quick to reply because obviously he doesn't want me to go and talk to the bank about this, and he asked me again to log in myself and send a screenshot. I said, how will that help? I know I can log in. I'll ask at the bank. Things went quiet then, and I guess the scammer probably thought the game was up. So I said my bank had been closed and I hadn't been able to ask about the login issue, and please could he try again? Frustration now clearly showing, the scammer said, how will I try again when I'm not getting the correct login page? Try again from your end and send me a screenshot of what you entered. I said, I don't know how that'll help, but okay. And I sent a screenshot of me entering Manfred's fake username into the first stage of the HSBC login. The scammer said, were you able to log in? I said, yeah, of course. The scammer asked, why am I unable to gain access? Gee, I don't know about that. Maybe you're doing something wrong. I mean, if you think about it, that's true on more than one level. The scammer asked if I knew my IP address. I said, I don't know why. He said he wants to log in from the same IP as me. I don't think IP addresses work like that. He sent me a link that I didn't even click on as I didn't trust it at all, and even if it did reveal my IP address, that wouldn't allow him to log on as me, so I just replied, I don't think IP addresses work like that. He asked me if I have a WhatsApp number. I have, but I'm not handing it out to a scammer. So I said, I think it's about time you told me a little bit more about yourself. He asked what I would like to know. I said, let's start with you telling me the real deal. No response, so I said, maybe a different question, like, how did you even imagine this was a credible conversation from the start? He said, send me your WhatsApp number, let's chat better there. Time to draw matters to a close, so I said, how about no, I'm not going to chat with you on WhatsApp. I do have to thank you though, as you've achieved something pretty outstanding these last few days. This is without a doubt the lamest and most crumblingly implausible scam attempt I've ever had the pleasure of laughing at. There should be an award for being this terrible at scamming, and you should win it. A couple of days later, I realised this really was the least credible scammer I've ever dealt with, and I thought again about that award, and this is something I should not pass over and forget. So I procured a suitable trophy, engraved it on my laser engraver, and printed out Corey's award certificate. I sent this along with a covering email, saying, Dear Corey Otwell, we are delighted to inform you that you have been recognised for the award of Least Credible Scammer 2019. You should take great pride in this achievement. Competition this year was spectacularly inept, but out of all candidates, your scam attempt stood out as the least believable of all. What next? This is a notable milestone for you, and we want you to take a little time to appreciate it. You may now stride forth with supreme confidence and assurance that whatever it is you choose to do next, it will certainly be better than this. Your certificate and trophy. We have pleasure in attaching a photograph of your award certificate and trophy. This prestigious prize is yours to keep forever, and we will be pleased to arrange its secure delivery to your home. All we need from you is your home address, access credentials to your online bank, so as to make payment for the insured delivery. We look forward to hearing from you. Now, this might seem like the end of the story, and I really thought it was, but a few days later, I received a spam email offering me a loan. It was from the same address as the scammer, and it said, Do you need a loan at affordable interest rate of 3% per annual? If yes, interested applicants should send reply to my email. But it was the subject line that really made me chuckle. Credible loan offer. Oh dear. So that's the story of the least credible scammer of 2019, possibly of all time. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.